What is up, people? Obviously you know who I am, so no need for introductions. Basically what I'm about to do is show you guys how to get a delicious, chunky, good, thick, warm, brutal tone out of your Peavey Valveking. I'm actually about to get a 6534 Plus next week, and I'm going to be trading this sucker in. But as I really do love this amp. I've had it for about a year now. Figured I'd just go ahead and part ways with it. I mean, just gotta be practical. There's no point in having two tube heads. I mean, anyway, here's my Valveking. As you've seen before in my other videos. So basically, I'm just going to show you how you get a, because I've seen a lot, I've watched just about every Valveking video out there and listened to, read every comment, and people just want to figure out how they get their amp to sound like this, because they hear this and they don't think that it can handle metal, and it can't do it's not trebly enough, it doesn't have enough low end, it doesn't have enough gain. All that stuff is false, and I'm going to show you how you can do it. First off, I'm just going to start with the very basic thing you're going to do. Once you start, you see here you got this power and the standby. First thing you want to do is cut the amp on, but leave it in standby. Don't cut it on just, don't flip it to the on switch just yet. The reason why you want to give a chance for the tubes to warm up, so you can get a good tone. Basically, go ahead and cutting it on and starting playing without giving your tubes a chance to warm up can ruin them, and it'll cut the life out of them. So you don't just need a ton of time. 10 minutes tops. I normally just let mine just warm up for a minute, not run and go do something else real quick, come back. After that, you just want to set all your knobs to noon, like I have set right here. Even your dampening controls. Also, if you see back here, you got your jacks, your input jacks right here for your speaker cable. You see I just got one in right here, and that's only because I don't have another one long enough for my Mesa cab. But basically, you just put them in parallel to each other for the right and left side, and you set your ohms to what. Since I just got one side going, I just got mine on 4. Also back here is where they have the texture knob, where you can go from full power, class A, and all that good stuff back here. What I've come to realize with the texture knob is that if you cut the wattage back, because you can cut it to 50 watts. I find that if you do it that way, you won't have to crank the amp as much to get the full tube coloration that you can get. You can kind of just you can turn it all the way back. Then you don't have to you can just roll the volume back, and it just make it easier for you to get a good tube tone. Alright, so after you set your knobs to noon and you've had enough time for the tubes to warm up, you want to get your cable for your guitar in there. If you see on the front, every Valveking has 2 inputs. If you have passive guitar, if you have a passive, guitar with passive pickups, you put in the first. If you got actives, you put it in the second. Since I have a guitar with active pickups, I put it in the second, and you will see why in just a minute. You can tell the difference. You can't really tell right off. Really, there's no serious difference other than you hear a whole lot more hissing from the gain in the first channel than you do in the second. So if you crank the gain up really loud, you can hear a loud hissing sound, but if you put in the second one, it's not as prevalent, because active guitars have a higher output, obviously. So it's just a bit more, you know, natural for that input. Next thing you want to do is put some kind of cable in the effects loop. What I did was I just put a pedal in there. I got my sonic stomp in there to help out with my overall tone. If any of you guys have one, I suggest getting one. I mean, if you don't have one, I just set mine to noon, because basically all I want it to do is just amplify the sound of the EQ that I already have on here. I don't turn these up. I don't increase the low end or the high end on it. I just keep them noon. Putting a cable through the effects loop will help the clarity of the amp. I don't know why. I guess, you know, it's not the best, you know, amp out there, but putting a cable through it will help out. Okay. Then on to like your pedals. You know, make sure you want to have a foot switch. If you don't, I mean, you can buy them online. They're pretty cheap, only like 20, 30 bucks. And having an overdrive pedal to help out with your lead channel is essential for this amp. I mean, you're gonna practically need it if you play metal, along with some kind of a noise suppressor. You're gonna need that as well. I have two. I had my Pt.1 for the longest, and now I have a tube screamer, and I mean, the tube screamer sounds amazing. It sounds awesome. Noise suppressor, obviously, just to cut out any extra feedback that you may have. You know, a lot of people like to go with the ISP decimator, but I mean, noise suppressor just does what I need for it to do. It's good. It's a good price. And yeah, you just wanna put it in through here first. You got your chain, and then it comes out at the end on this side. And I got my guitar. This is my Schecter Damien 7 with the active EMG 8185 7-string combination. Sounds awesome. And but yeah, basically I'm just gonna do a clean. I'm just gonna do a clean and a lead demo of it.